Hey, did the countdown just stop?
Yeah,
Okay, hey, what's up, everybody?
amazing. What a pro.
What's up, everybody? It's Rumor and Innuendo. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of Studio1Sports.com, and I'm here with Mr. Robert Karplus, WD Creative _ish. Robert, wow, what a start, huh?
Yeah, that was a hell of a start, Dom. You're killing it.
I'm killing it, killing it. Let's kill it in the chat here. See how everybody's doing. Matty Marijuana joining on in from RVD TV. Thanks for tuning in. Cami Star also saying after morning all. So we're ready to roll. Robert, we got Caspian also chiming in. Yes, countdown stopped at like 30 seconds. I think it's because I exited and entered back in to help the connection, hopefully.
Greatest
But
producer in all of
I
wrestling
do
Twitter.
what I can. I do what I can. Was AEW Dynamite well produced for you last night, Robert?
No, Wrestling Old Head nails it right here by saying good after morning all. That was a really hot crowd, especially for Fletcher Bailey, and that press conference lost them.
How do
Um,
you? Yeah.
Dude, they did not think this thing through, and I'm a little. I would say surprised, but at this point, given everything we've seen in terms of wrestling production this week, nothing surprises me. The uh, poor choreography of the masked guys from Monday is a distant memory to what we got at the end of Dynamite, but there was a whole show that built up to it, Dom. So I'll let you steer the conversation.
Yes, indeed. AEW kicked off in San Jose, California, and we didn't have Excalibur on the call tonight. We had last night. We had Tony Schiavone leading it
Tony
with.
Schiavone, Ian Riccaboni, and Brian Danielson.
What'd you think of this trio, Robert?
No Excalibur is always going to be great.
Look, no offense to Excalibur, but Tony
Oh,
Schiavone adds.
all offense in the world to Excalibur.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't think he's a good commentator. I don't enjoy what Excalibur does. I think he steps on moments rather than letting them breathe. He has to over explain things to seem like he's the smartest guy in the room rather than the storyteller moving the narrative forward. It's great that you know that these guys teamed up in PWG in 2012. Doesn't help the overall product. This
Doesn't.
was probably the best iteration of the commentary team that we've seen. Maybe Nigel. I like Nigel.
Nigel's good too. I love Taz obviously too. Taz adds the good analyst element, but the sense of humor as well. So yeah, but yeah, I like this trio. I like Tony, I like Ian Riccaboni, and Danielson's obviously good too with what he does. So, but yes, the opening match was the Death Riders versus the Don Callis family. That was John Moxley teaming up with Claudio, and they went up against Hechicero. And oh my God, who was the other person in that match?
Konosuke Takeshita.
Takeshita, that guy. Yes. Holy smokes. Yes, he was in the match as well. Uh, very weird finish to this one, Robert. We got a eye poke by Claudio to Hechicero, and that got the baby faces the win, the heels the win. What's going on here?
They're the baby faces. They've always been baby faces. I don't know what you're talking about. The Death Riders have always been our smiling, wacky, happy baby face tag team.
Mm, mm. Yes.
So
Go ahead.
I don't like the WWE's always been guilty of this as well. It's the go home show before a pay per view. So the guys who are going to be wrestling on the pay per view, let's just put them in a match here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this at least forwarded or furthered along the overall Takeshita story that the babyface heels got the win over the heels, and after the match, it seemed like the Don Callis family were going to force Takeshita to use that chair on Moxley. He chose not to. We're sowing those seeds of dissension that exist in the Don Callis family.
Do you think this will lead to like maybe an ultimate baby face turn for not just Takeshita but Moxley as well, or do you think we're gonna get gray area stuff continuing?
I think Moxley is a babyface now. I think that the way that they view him is he's just John Moxley. I don't think they're going to go too deep into the Death Riders are a murder cult, and instead they're the Blackpool Combat Club again. They're just dudes who want to go in there and mess up other dudes.
Okay. Okay. What else was messed up, Robert, on Dynamite? We had pulling up the review. Dang it! Why does my link's not working? Bear with me here.
It was a Kyle Fletcher MJF segment. Kyle
Okay.
Fletcher and Don Callis, and then MJ. As soon as you just did whatever you did, you went super laggy and blurry again.
Yes. All right, here we go. Exiting out. All right. Any better? It's working.
Well, Dom's live on VHS.
I am.
So, yeah, the narrative here was MJF giving Fletcher a pep talk that he wants to see him beat up Speedball, and Fletcher took exception to being MJF's henchman, errand boy, and then told Don Callis not to work with that MJF guy again. So I'm sure that won't lead to anything going forward.
Of course not. I like this segment though, Robert. What did you think?
Yeah, look, it's always interesting to see the interaction with two guys who are not necessarily in a story, and that everyone's going after the world champ. I don't mind that.
No, I don't mind it either. I think that's a good element to provide for it. I'm trying to pull up the results again without hopefully going blurry.
I got the results here, Scott. I don't need you. Yeah, because you went laggy again. Just for the sake of my sanity at the moment, I'll just Speedball Mike Bailey versus Kyle Fletcher. This was a hell of a match. We didn't get a super clean finish, like unlike Dom's shaved head. But we got a match that I can't wait to see them lock up again.
Yeah, no, this even when I just saw it on paper beforehand, I was like, this is going to be a good match. And it was a good match. And I was good with the finish too. I'm glad they kind of protected Speedball in this manner. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but I even liked his promo that he did after the match. So
the French Canadian of it is very tough to get behind the intensity, but this was a great spotlight of young talent. It continues to highlight, like, boy, when Fletcher gets elevated, I mean, you've got Fletcher, Takeshita, Ospreay once he's healthy, pulling up Speedball. I just think it's a really interesting time for AEW if they can really get their act together. After this, Brody King squashed the jobberiest jobber who's ever jobbered. I love this dude. Big fan of that jobber. This guy was just like plucked out of nowhere, throw him into the ring, feed him to Brody King, and then Swerve attacked. The thing that surprised me, Dom, was Swerve uses the chain and Brody breaks the chain. This felt like a moment that I probably would have saved for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like considering what those two have been doing with one another, would make a lot more sense to have him do that during the show than before the show. So where are they going to go from here? But I like this feud. I like Swerve's facials that he gives in regards to his reaction when the chain broke and everything. And so, yeah, I think this is one of the highlight feuds going on right now for AEW. Even though you're not that fan of Swerve turning heel, though, right?
I didn't love it because I think the crowd was actually getting behind Swerve, and I think that there's always an issue where when you turn a guy and your champion is a heel, and this guy's not aligned with your champion, he can get lost in the shuffle. And I think once we move on from Swerve and Brody, I guess the idea is they can pick back up with Kenny and Swerve, and that can be your next story. But it does kind of feel like, I don't know. It kind of feels like a situation where you turn the guy, but you don't have a plan for him. He's not part of the Don Callis family. He's not going after MJF. He's just going to be a dude. And if there were two brands and two titles and something for him to do, okay. Otherwise, I would have liked Swerve as another guy going after MJF.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I like Swerve as heel. I think ultimately, I just think he's really good at it. He's really good at being heel. So, next up, Robert, what do we have? Because I don't want to blurry again. Go blurry.
No, it was a question. Maddie, Miss Marijuana asked, what would an RVD WWF Championship run look like in 2001?
Yeah. The RVD, so he's asking the RVD question.
Oh, yeah, it threw me for a moment, but I'll go with it. 01. There wouldn't have been a lot of, it was such an odd time for the company at that point. I think 2001 was way too crowded at the top. for Rob to have really had a significant title run, because obviously you had Rock and Austin going into Mania, and then all those plans kind of went out the window. Rock leaves for Hollywood. Steve Austin turns heel. There's the two-man power trip. Van Dam, maybe him and Jericho as the foils instead of going with Jericho and Benoit. Going up against Hunter and Austin would have been interesting. But obviously you saw Hunter go down with his injury, and then it was this convoluted 2-on-1 thing, and then you had the invasion angle. So Rob as the WWF champion at that point in time, I don't know that it would have been a really coherent story. And I don't think that he would have been the guy to be the face of the establishment going up against the interloping outsiders.
I think that's a good point. I do know he mentioned that backstage, people were saying, oh, they're going to strap the rocket on your back. And then Bruce Pritchard had these expectations of Rob doing like the due diligence of almost playing the political game, like of, showing Vince that he's capable of handling that spot and stuff like that. But Rob admitted at the time he was kind of oblivious to doing all that stuff because it was kind of against, he's like, well, if they don't see me for what I am, why do I have to put any extra like things to do that? And so I think maybe that kind of threw a little bit of a wrench in the works, but at the same time too, I don't know. I think about too, they put the title on Jericho at the time as a heel, and he was kind of a lower level. He was below in that. He was kind of in the same realm.
That was sort of by the end. So Devin Dowling asks within the AEW world, where's Andrade? He beat Kenny and swerved and disappeared. So he's got the match on Sunday against Bandito. I liked their segment a week ago where Bandito was trying to be reverent to Andrade, and Andrade was like, look, if you're just a fan and you want a picture, I'll gladly take a picture with you. I don't mind that he wasn't necessarily on this show. I think there was a lot going on, assuming that he's going to be part of Collision. I think they taped Dynamite and Collision back to back that same night last night. Okay. So it's very possible that in fact, I'm pretty sure Andrade was part of Collision. We got Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin versus the Dogs, Gabe, Kidd, and Finlay. And much like a game of Clue, we went from a guy using a chain to now a guy using a tire iron.
It is like Clue. The Butler did it.
And then worst, we got Roderick Strong coming out, and you thought he was going to join the Dogs, but instead he helped the baby faces.
Are you okay with that?
Well, we're getting a 6-man.
Yes, we're trio.
And I'm guessing that's when Strong will turn. I don't know.
Think they're going to do that? Ugh. I don't know. Hold on, I'm back. Boy. Robert, what do we got next?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm steering the ship here. Persephone and Willow Nightingale. Persephone had just beat Mercedes Moné. So we put her in this match for Willow to beat Persephone.
Persephone's very talented.
She's very talented. Odd decision on their part to go ahead and do that, but here it is. Ciampa cut a good promo in the back, reminding people of what he used to be, that he was sort of leashed for a little while, and now he's unleashed, much like the Dogs, which is the stupidest name. Bring in Road Dogg and let him manage the Dogs.
Oh yes.
No, I was joking. That's a terrible idea.
Do it.
Then we got Dem Bucks versus FTR and Ciampa. Again, the guys that we're going to see wrestle on Sunday. Hey, let's give it to you for free. Meltzer front row.
Yes, he was. He had the front row seat and checking it all out. He got there. I saw screenshots online.
So Mr. Marijuana asks, when do you think MJF goes to WWE? Boy, I think right after seeing this main event segment, he's got to be thinking, maybe this ain't the place for me. So, hot 6-man tag. Crowd was super into it, and then they go to a press conference.
Yes.
Dom, were you invited to this press conference as an illustrious member of the wrestling media landscape?
I did not get the email. I checked my spam email and it wasn't there. So no.
That's a shame. They do this in the back, and they forgot to turn off the mic for the live crowd. And the live crowd was chanting the kinds of things that indicated they were not enamored with this segment, A, not being in front of them,
Mhm.
And B, the tone and tenor of the conversation did not meet the discourse that they were anticipating.
I agree completely.
The funniest part about this was not a shoot press conference,
Mm-mm.
which means you could have scripted the questions and, for Hangman Adam Page, the answers. And guys, if you think when Dom gets put on the spot, we don't get a clear answer, Hangman blew him out of the water.
What?
This dude was lost in the woods without a flashlight, send out a search party. His answers, I guess they wanted it to feel organic, but it felt so organic that this was the kid who didn't do his book report.
This felt like to me, Robert. This felt like some of the questions that were asked didn't really coincide with the story that they were telling, basically. And I don't know if they were like, "Hey, these initial questions, feel free to ask what like something that you want to ask about it, but keep it." I don't know. It felt very displaced.
Wrestling Oilhead says the whole press conference was done, in my opinion, to clip Hangman Page's reaction to "Who are you without the AEW World Title?" Imagine if Bryan Danielson asked that question. Yes, it did feel like they can zoom in and play the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme.
You're right.
But yeah, the narrative here is clearly, boy, Hangman, if you don't win this, who are you without the opportunity to even become world champion? Why stay in this company? And then we just cue Cody Rhodes' music, and he's just like, see? Me
Huh?
doing this was not the dumbest booking decision they ever made. This is incredibly stupid and short-sighted booking on their part.
Yeah, especially too. I mean, it would be one thing maybe if you put it in the middle of the show, but to end the show like that in front of a crowd that was
But at
not
least they brawled out to the crowd. But it's more
true.
just this underlying idea of where do they go? And I know we'll do previews tomorrow and we'll talk and all that, but it's like every part of this felt like a miscalculation. The doing the press conference, not doing it in front of the audience, the types of questions asked, the answers they got, the very rudimentary, I'm going to throw the beer at you and then we're just going to brawl and end the show. I mean, it wasn't as bad as the ending of Raw, but it was something.
I was going to ask you that. Like, so yeah, because how it seemed, I don't know. I thought maybe you thought this was worse.
It wasn't worse, but it wasn't great.
No. Yeah. I mean, like, and this is the go home show. Today there will be the media call with Tony Khan. I will somewhat be on it. I'm going to have to do double duty today, but
Why? What else are you doing?
I have my shoot job I have to go to. So.
Oh, okay, fine. You're doing the old shoot job here, and I like Caspian asks, why does Dom refuse to stream videos with anyone else, with anyone without Rob in their name? Fonzie.
Fonzie. His name's
Bill.
Bill.
Alfonso. I remember Magnum TA and
Greg
Gagne.
Yeah.
They still alive? Yeah.
They're still around.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I just like that for no reason whatsoever. Maddie Miss Rona asked, what's your favorite Seinfeld episode? You a Seinfeld guy, Dom?
Oh, I'm a Seinfeld guy. Yes. Big time. Boy, what? That's tough. That's super tough. I like the Kenny Rogers chicken episode.
That's a solid one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like asking me to pick my favorite child. The Chinese restaurant is an all-timer.
Really, you like that one? I mean, I understand.
Do I love the Chinese restaurant is an absolute alt. That was the first where you're like, oh, we're doing whatever the hell we want, and it is very, very funny. The Opposite is a very good one, and obviously the marine biologist is one of the best payoff and reveals ever.
Man, yeah, there's so many great. I mean, I think more of the moments in the actual episodes themselves, but I mean, to try to pick a favorite Seinfeld episode, super tough.
There are so many tremendous moments and things that have been quoted ad nauseum in my life, at least. Seinfeld comes up quite a bit.
Yes, 100%. Robert, were you aware of the My AEW app? that they're
Does that air Seinfeld?
It does not air Seinfeld.
Then no. What's the My AEW? Oh, is this the thing they launched internationally?
Yes.
That they finally suddenly realized, oh, we don't have a streaming platform that we should have built years ago with HBO Max, and now because of the potential looming merger of Warner and Paramount, that they are in dire straits and should probably build their own platform. Yeah, I am aware of that, Dom, but take it away.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I got pretty excited for it, pun intended, that there was an app coming, but then I realized it was for international people and not for your American or Canadian audiences. It is strictly for international, but the deal sounds great. $20 a month. You get to stream Dynamite, you get to stream Collision, you get to stream the past library, it seems, on there, and then you get the pay-per-views. But us Americans or us Canadians, don't get to do that. We have to buy it on HBO Max.
Odd decision. To give the international audience a far better option than what you provide to your US based audience, especially since they don't tour abroad all that often. I know they go to Australia and they've gone to Europe a couple times. It makes you feel dumber for spending money on the pay-per-view.
Yes.
We said all along, if there was a notion of you're getting the pay-per-views plus a whole bunch of other stuff, even the deal they tried to concoct with Max doesn't make a ton of sense.
Right.
Where instead of paying $50, you pay $40.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's $40. I think it's $40. If they give you like a 20% discount or whatever that adds up to. But yeah, Robert, I mean, like, and the funny thing is they're plugging, hey, like 0 Hour and all that stuff. And they're like, HBO Max members get to watch that for free, but you get to watch it for free anyways on YouTube or whatever. And it's always been free, the 0 Hour.
Yeah, but they're going to try to use that to probably lure you to stay to see the end of the 21-person battle royal.
Yes. That then flows over to the show itself.
It flows. All right. Well, this flowed quite nicely. We were able to cover everything in a timely manner.
Yes.
And
Maddie asked this, though. Is it possible to have Moppy on or Danhausen, Robert? Would you love Danhausen or Moppy on here?
I would be so happy to talk to an inanimate mop rather than have, I want to like Danhausen. It bugs me.
I like him, Robert.
I question the earnestness with which he does what it is that he's doing. Moppy was tremendous character development.
Do you prefer Moppy or Pepe?
Moppy.
I'm a Pepe guy. Pepe.
I don't like any use of live animals.
Oh, I mean, I guess that's fair. Yes.
Nope. I don't trust him backstage with the boys. There's too many horrible stories that have existed over the years. Nope. Not worth it. Give me an inanimate object like a mop or Michael Cole any day. But we will be back tomorrow. We will preview AEW Revolution and preview SmackDown.
Ooh, we got some work to do, Robert. Big time.
Well, and you've got a press conference that you get to join later on today, where I'm sure you get to ask Tony Khan all of the important questions, like why he hasn't signed Moppy.
That's a great. Maybe I should. I'll write that one in.
Yeah, that'll get you invited back.
Invited back.
But on behalf of the man who is going to be banned for life from all AEW press conferences, Mr. Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karplis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Tony Khan, Moppy or Pepe?
Shh.